Thanks to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this update. They've got everything you need to stay smooth and clean and nice smelling. Get their starter set for just $5 at dollarshaveclub.com/theknow. Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley.
I'm Brian.
Look, we know Sony hasn't exactly been cool with crossplay this generation. At that, maybe putting it mildly.
It seems like no matter how much gamers get annoyed at Sony, they just dig in their heels. When it comes to letting PlayStation 4 owners play with their friends and other consoles, they are not for it.
Well, they've blocked it on just about everything. Most notably, even going further than usual with Fortnite, which pissed off gamers who discovered they couldn't log in with their PlayStation 4 characters when they tried to play Fortnite on the Switch. Basically, if you're on PlayStation 4, it locked your stuff into their system.
It sucked. Even major developers like Bethesda are even coming out now and openly criticizing Sony for this policy and insisting that they need to change it.
Yeah, even potentially holding games hostage if they don't want to. But now Sony is giving us the reason that they're not allowing crossplay for at least one game. And the reason is, get this, because all the other platforms suck compared to PS4 and they don't have to deal with it, and you shouldn't either, because that would be lame.
Doesn't that sound to you like the most 5th grade logic ever? I'm not playing
like,
with you. You suck.
This comes from the head of the entire company, Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida, who talked to the press at the IFA Technology Show in Berlin last week.
In comments reported by The Independent, Yoshida said that the PlayStation 4 is the best way to play Fortnite, which that's not really a surprise. He's the CEO. Obviously, you're going to stick up for your own company's console, even if it's not true.
Well, look, in Fortnite, if it's a good gameplay experience, then great.
Yeah.
Pretty much every platform does say, like, ours is the best place to play. I mean, Xbox says the same thing.
Games play best on Xbox One.
Exactly. Yeah. But he wasn't done with just that comment. He went on to say, on cross-platform, our way of thinking is always that PlayStation is the best place to play. Fortnite, I believe, partnered with PlayStation 4, is the best experience for users. That's our belief.
Regarding crossplay in other games, he went on to say, actually, we already opened some games as cross-platform with PC and some others, so we decide based on what is the best user experience. That is our way of thinking for cross-platform.
So they'll consider it in some cases, but not Fortnite, because, hey, let's be honest, everything but PS4 is crap.
Yeah, too bad PC users. That seems like the best way to play, keyboard and mouse.
It's also where it started.
Right. So these comments were a lot less diplomatic than those of, let's say, Sony Interactive Entertainment America CEO Sean Layden, who told Eurogamer a few months ago that they're looking at a lot of the possibilities when it comes to crossplay.
Oh, they looked at them and then they said,
No! No! No!
At the time, Layden acknowledged the criticism Sony was getting being the only platform this current generation. It's really not doing the crossplay thing wildly. And he said, we're hearing it, we're looking at a lot of the possibilities. You can imagine that the circumstances around that affect a lot more than just one game. I'm confident we'll get to a solution which will be understood and accepted by our gaming community, while at the same time supporting our business.
But Yoshida's comments seem to indicate that Sony's top executives might be a lot more stubborn when it comes to allowing crossplay.
Yeah, like as in they may hear the criticism, they just don't care.
Yeah, we hear you, just too bad. So this has been obviously an ongoing issue with Sony this console generation, while Xbox and Nintendo users have been playing together in games like Minecraft.
Making trailers about it even.
Totally goofing on Sony, but Sony's the sales leader this time around, and they don't seem to be in any hurry to be nice to other platforms, except for PC in some cases like Street Fighter V and the MMO Final Fantasy XIV.
Although worth noting that a lot of platforms also don't consider PC to be a proper console competitor. They figure if you're on PC, you're a PC player. If you're on console, you're a console player. So they don't consider PC to be quite the same as enabling crossplay on, say, Switch or Xbox. But the refusal so far to play nicely with the other consoles has pissed off not just fans, but in a lot of cases, the developers who supply a lot of games to Sony.
Like Bethesda, Pete Hines said last month that they're okay with Sony blocking crossplay in some games like Fallout 76, which is kind of weird because it totally revolves around online multiplayer, but Hines drew the line when it came to their upcoming card game Elder Scrolls Legends.
Hines told Eurogamer that it's absolutely critical that crossplay be allowed in that game. He even seemed to leave open the possibility that the card game could just not come to PlayStation 4 if crossplay isn't enabled.
That's the hostage situation you're talking about.
Yeah, although I wouldn't necessarily think that like Elder Scrolls Legends is the hill to die on there. I feel like Sony would just go, all right.
Fuck it.
Although, you know, if it starts a trend, that's a problem, but it's also Elder Scrolls Legends.
They're going to be like, okay, you can take your card game.
Yeah.
We're not going to be mad.
Yeah, well, you'll note that they don't seem to be jeopardizing potential PS4 sales of Fallout 76.
No. There are lines and then there are lines.
Yes.
But it's not just Bethesda. Last year, one of the lead directors on Ark Survival Evolved said that they had Xbox One and PS4 crossplay working internally, but he added currently Sony won't allow it.
And when Rocket League was released on the Switch last year, Psyonix executive Jeremy Dunham told Polygon Sony was vetoing crossplay, even though he said it's literally something we could do with the push of a button.
Of course, crossplay, we've talked about this, it has been allowed in the past between all kinds of platforms in various kinds of games. Depending on where they are in sales, typically the leader will be against it, and you know, the people in second or third place will be all about crossplay.
Well, as an example, last generation, it was Xbox 360 saying, no, we're not really interested in crossplay, and now this generation, they're like, but crossplay is great.
We like it.
Mind you, different leadership teams and everything. For this generation, Sony has been very reluctant to even consider allowing crossplay for games on that platform.
We did get a little peek behind the scenes a few months ago. That's when a former Sony executive said that the controversy over Fortnite all boils down to one thing. That is money, of
like
course.
It's a business.
Yeah, John Smedley, who is the head of Sony Online Entertainment, talked about that issue in a bunch of tweets a few months back. He said that when I was at Sony, the stated reason internally for this was money.
He added, they didn't like someone buying something on an Xbox and it being used on a PlayStation. Simple as that. Dumb reason, but there it is.
It is a dumb reason, but I get it. I hate it, but I get it. He later deleted all those tweets, but he said if we keep the pressure up, this problem goes away. That implication that he was making was that if people keep pestering Sony, maybe they'll change their policy.
Although it may come down to more than pestering, it may come down to impacting the bottom line, because they did say if it's internally all about money, it's all about money.
That's all they're listening to.
Yeah, Sony's refusal this generation has sparked some backlash among Fortnite fans, especially when players realized they couldn't use their PlayStation 4 characters on other platforms. That was a thing.
Yeah, there was an outcry online, but Sony, they basically just waited it out.
And you don't hear about it a ton.
Nope.
now.
Yeah.
They also did block Rocket League, Minecraft, those kinds of games, which prompted Microsoft and Nintendo to do that cheeky video highlighting the fact that their players could link up in the game.
And Sony's response was,
Well, Sony has also said they're blocking crossplay to protect children, which pissed off Microsoft based on the implication that they weren't looking out for kids' safety. Also, looking out for kids.
yeah.
Look, if there's one platform that would be family friendly, you'd be like, yes, let's enable crossplay for the kids. It'd be Switch.
Have you seen some of the themes that they sell on PS4? They aren't looking out for kids on some of those. They're animated boobs on some of those. Sorry, I made it weird. All right, the silver lining, if there is one to Yoshida's comments, is that he did leave some room for future crossplay possibilities, just not Fortnite.
And for Nintendo and Microsoft, Yoshida did mention them, saying he thinks the competition between the three companies is a good thing.
He said, I think competition is always good. Healthy, fair competition is always good for the industry and growth.
Which I actually agree with.
Yeah,
because when
totally.
everyone is doing well and everyone is advancing their own services, then the other companies and other platforms have to advance their own. And eventually, we all benefit.
Yes.
But judging from his comments, it sounds like Sony is much more focused on competition these days rather than cooperation.
So what do you guys think of Sony's CEO's comments about crossplay in Fortnite? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your gaming news, be sure to like this video. If you're new to this channel, subscribe to the Know. Shout out to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this update. Dollar Shave Club has gone beyond razors, although those are great too. And now they've got everything from hair products to body cleanser to skincare as well to keep you smooth and clean, head to butt to toe, and smelling really good in the process. Personal recommendation, Brian, you know this. I'm
Amber
always
lavender
recommending.
soap.
Yep, that's the one that I'm always talking about. I don't know. When I was younger, someone told me that like lavender was like the old lady smell, and now I think I'm there because I am all about it. It's relaxing. It makes me feel like I'm in a spa, so I recommend that
It's
like
your
every
you
single
time.
time.
Yeah.
It is.
Like everything else from Dollar Shave Club, they deliver right to you, so you don't need to wander around the store looking for an employee to unlock the razor case because that is annoying. I hate doing that.
Don't live that life.
I would rather leave than deal with an employee, and every product is their own. Original stuff made with premium ingredients, not the crap premium ingredients.
Right, and you get your first month of their best razor, that's the executive razor by the way, along with travel size versions of shave butter, body cleanser. You can even try out their butt wipes for $5. After that, replacement razor cartridges ship for just a few dollars per month. Get your starter set for $5 when you go to dollarshaveclub.com/theknow.